Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am Lisa of Diamonds and Stitches. It is morning, you guys, and I have not had enough coffee, which is close to me. So, um, today I am working on my collab piece with Cherri of DiamondArtAddiction. If you are new to this collab piece, both Cherri and I have a playlist. I'm fairly certain that Cherri has a playlist as well for this canvas and our collab. And so please go check out our channels, and I will link the information below, including Cherri DiamondArtAddiction's information. Um, but we started this collab a couple of months ago, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. As you can see, I am a very slow diamond painter because all I have actually gotten done is this here. And there is still all of this left. Oh, you can't see the other side. There's quite a bit more over here. This is a 60 by, what size is a 60 by 45. And I am doing it in square drills, and Cherri is doing it in round drills. And but we picked the same canvas on the same day from the same seller, same size, just different styles, being square or round. And then we thought that we would do a collab together and put some videos together. I think that we have 6 out so far, which include the unboxing, the kitting up, and then get to know me and some tags and that kind of thing. So I hope that that you get your crafting out, whether you are doing diamond painting, cross stitching, wreath making, cards, crocheting, doing whatever you're doing, coloring, that you just follow along, and we'll have a little whips and sips today because it is morning. I am behind, you guys. I normally have this filmed the night before, and so I am a little behind, and I still have to get ready for the day and get my little off to camp. So this is what this canvas looks like without the light pad. I've got my light pad on underneath, and I'm going to put it on because I have old eyes and can't see. And so I hope that the brightness, you know, if you're just watching me diamond paint, doesn't bother you. But I need the light pad with this canvas. It has been, it's dark and the symbols are small. And I have old eyes, and yeah, so yeah. Okay, so I also put my tripod in a different position today, so I'm hoping that maybe I'm trying different things, hoping that I make it so that you guys can see better if you are watching as I go along. But yeah, so I have enjoyed doing this canvas. It like I said, a little slow, and you guys, I am not a monogamous DPer. I figured out the other day I have actually 6 canvases on the go. And yes, I know that's ridiculous. That's actually 5 too many. Especially when they're big ones. But there's a couple that I started, like when I started diamond painting, and I bit off more than I could chew in the beginning, being that I bought like a couple of very large canvases because I had heard that bigger is better. Not always, just kidding. That yeah, so I just, there were a couple of, like, I bought a landscape piece, and I think I showed it in my not my, well, I think maybe it was a whip parade. yeah, I think it was all my whips in progress, or the one, oh, did I put that in upside down? Okay, you guys, so I'm a little blind and I did not bring down my lap pad. I really need to work on an angle. It's how I see the best. So anyway, so I'm gonna struggle a little bit, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Um, but yeah, so some of them I bought are really big. So this one is a 60 by 45, and I have a landscape piece that has been in my whip pile for, well, since October of 2017. And I bring it out every once in a while, but I think it's a 70 by 60. It might be a 70 by 80. Yeah. Or a 65 by 70. I don't know. The thing is large, you guys. I know not Mandy Manzano large, but it's really big, and big for me. And and I like it, but it is squares. Yeah, it's squares. And it is not one that I've had a problem with popping drills at all. Actually, it's laying down real nice, but it is confetti heavy. Oh my gosh, confetti heavy. And there's nothing on there. And so yeah, so then I started, oh well, you know, in order for that sense of accomplishment, because I am an instant gratification kind of girl. Yes. I went to some little appetizer pieces, being, you know, smaller little pieces that I got from, at the time, New Frog. And I started doing those. Well, then, you know, the diamond painting community started taking off. And I started watching videos, and people have like pick beautiful. It's like in the cross stitch community, right? So I watch FlossTube. It's called FlossTube, and on YouTube. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Keep getting my hand in the glue over here, or my arm. So every time somebody in the FlossTube community, being cross stitching, would, you know, do their whip parade, they would have like these really cute patterns that just got released by a really awesome designer, or, you know, something. And I'm like, oh, gotta have that. Oh, gotta have that. And so it's the same now in the diamond painting community. Somebody will put something out and I'm like, ooh, where did they find that? Must go find that, you know. And now there's all of these great customs that you can get. And I don't ever remember now. Somebody who has been doing this for as long as I have can correct me if I'm wrong. I know that with Heaven and Earth Designs, which is actually how I started, I found a video for Heaven and Earth Designs diamond painting, and there was a gal who showed you how to get your Heaven and Earth design patterns into diamond painting. And I was like a little intrigued, because I own quite a few Heaven and Earth design patterns, and frankly they are all big, and it's going to take me an eternity to get those done. And so I was like, ooh, well, if I can do a diamond painting, you know, in like a year versus 5 years for some of my cross stitching, then yee, that sounds interesting. So at the time, I think that was the only time that you could get customs, and then I think from there it blew up. I could be wrong, but that's how I remember it in 2017. You know, fast forward, we are now in August, the 8th month of 2019, and you know, you can find anything you want about diamond painting, how to frame, how to cut your canvas, how to, you know, seal stuff. That stuff was not, it was, I mean, back in 17, when I when I did my owl piece for my son for Christmas, and I went to go and frame it, I'm not joking, you guys, there were maybe, and I mean maybe, 5 videos total on how to finish your diamond painting, and none of them included sealing. And at least not that I found. Maybe I wasn't putting in the right keywords, but there really and truly was not a lot of information. And you know, a lot of the best advice back then was to put decorative tape, duck, you know, that duck brand tape, around the edges, and then frame it so that you had, because you couldn't find frames, and you know, getting a custom frame was hugely expensive. And also at the time I didn't have enough time to wait for a custom size frame. And and so I found one that was fairly close, and then, you know, made a, what is it? You know, the insert that you, oh, for the love of, I will come up with the name, and, you know, I'll insert it somewhere. But, you know, holy, what is it called? Oh, you guys, it's too early in the morning. Yeah, whatever it is, frame your picture with, besides the frame, but the inside thing, you know, that flat little, oh, for God's sake. I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm just going to stick it in there somewhere. And you're all probably laughing and screaming at me. Lisa, it is this. Yep, I know. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anywho, so yeah, so that's what I use. And, you know, I look at it and it is nice. It's nice. I did it in black duct tape, and, kind of a shiny black duct tape. And then the frame is black. And then, you know, the picture is mostly very dark black with, the owl flying through the picture. But yeah, but now you look up framing. Oh, holy Pete and Joseph, like seriously, there are so many videos on how to frame, how to buy how to buy a custom frame, how to cut your canvas close to your picture, you know, how to cut it close to the picture, yeah, basically, for framing, you know, and how to measure it to frame, and just like all, you know, what to do if you've got drills that are a little loose or popping. There was no rolling. Nobody thought, or okay, again, maybe it's because I could not find, but I mean, I typed in diamond painting framing. I mean, you know, keywords. But, you know, there was not one person who said anything about rolling, you know, again, not that I found. Maybe there was a person and that person's now angry at me because they're like, what? You didn't find my video? But yeah, my experience back in 2017, at the end of 2017 to today as a diamond painter, is very different. And, you know, I used to purchase off of AliExpress back in the day. I still do. In fact, I have a couple of orders coming from AliExpress, one from Evermoment, and for a exciting little project I'll talk about in a few. But yeah, so I started then. I also don't remember as many. I mean, there were a lot, don't get me wrong, because I was overwhelmed. I was like, ooh, how do I choose? Ooh, this is pretty. Ooh. But I want to say that not only were they not as expensive, like I think that that first big landscape one, I paid $20 for. Now I went to go and rebuy it, you know, rebuy it the other day, and it was $36 for the exact same size. So I think that they have recognized that diamond painting has become a popular craft. And yeah, but also, okay, back to my original point, I don't remember there being as many canvases, as many pictures. Again, don't get me wrong, there were a lot, but now I'm like, whoo, there are so many stores, and there are so many, wow, yeah. But you know what? This is a really nice, easy, relaxing craft. If you are new to this craft and you're wondering, how do I get myself started? Again, there are a ton of videos on how to get started. And the best thing is that every single diamond painting kit comes with everything you need to get started this craft. And, you know, for the most part, other crafts, you have to, you know, you buy individual items to get yourself going, right? So, like, as example, you know, if you're into card making, well, you have to buy, you know, the paper, and then something sticky to put it with. And, you know, if you choose to put stickers, then you have to buy embellishments. If you are putting, if you're truly getting into card making, then you stamp sets, and then the stamp pad to get that done, to you know, ribbon. So you buy each thing individually to make what it is that you want. You know, crocheting, you have to buy the yarn, and then a hook, and maybe a pattern, and something to store it in. You know, if you're doing cross stitching, unless you buy a kit, which everything comes in the kit except for scissors. But you know, if you're just, you found a pattern that you like, then you need to find the fabric and the thread and a needle and your scissors, and possibly a hoop or something for you to put your fabric in. And so, you know, for the most part, each craft, you need to, you know, buy things to get that craft started. Well, with diamond painting, it is all included for you to get started. Now, if you want to continue as a diamond painter and become psychotic like I did in this craft, then for your comfort, you will probably want to buy a better light or a light pad. If you have a hard time seeing like I do, maybe a magnifying glass. Light has a really great one that I use for symbols. Now, back in the day when I first did that one kit for my son, you know, I honestly had to take my phone and put the flashlight on and zoom in and take a picture of some of the symbols, because not only were they small and dark, but dear Lord, they put almost the same type symbol with each other. So like one would be, I wonder if I can remember what the symbol was. One was like a 5, and then the one next to it, so very similar in color, like a dark blue to darker blue. And it was like a S. Yeah, it was an S. A 5 and an S. Can you believe that? Right next to each other. I mean, seriously, who thinks of this? I think they do it for a laugh just to see. I mean, I would. Yeah. But yeah, so after I got into it and decided, oh, this is something that I'm going to continue, well, then, you know, I needed a different storage system because working out of baggies was not going to work for me. That is not how I like diamond painting. It frustrates me, and I'm a bit clumsy and klutzy, and so the plastic bags and the rippage and that kind of thing, that was not going to work for me. And so I found storage solutions at Joann's and Michael's to start out with, and I have found my storage system from Amazon / AliExpress, a couple of different stores. And if you follow me or would like to go back and have a look at some of my videos, I show you. And I figured out how to put cards up. So I will, top right, is that over there? Maybe. I will try and link that video. And if not, well, either way, I'll still put it in the description below. Because I did go through quite a few different storage solutions, and I have landed on what works for me, and I love the storage solution that I am using now, and I cannot imagine that it will get any better than this. It might, somebody might surprise me, but I love it. It's the little, ooh, it's not in frame. Ha! Okay, it's the, nah, still not in frame. Okay, well, if you watch my stuff, you know, but I like the little jars, that are in I call it a little suitcase. It has a little cargo net in the top, and then the bottom is where all of the bottles are stored, and they're set in foam, and each bottle has its own home, and so they don't rub up against each other, they don't clang. I love this system. It zips up, it's hard-sided. If I drop it, which believe me, I have, it doesn't harm my bottles. It doesn't open anything. It doesn't break. And I've had a few cry sessions over broken cases, mixed up drills, and popping cases too. Like the tops, you know, are not super sturdy. And so oh my gosh, am I all done in this section? I think I am. I have had, you know, some good cry sessions because I am klutzy. I mean, I just am klutzy. Okay, I'm going to turn this around just so that I can work on these ones up here. So I apologize. You're probably not going to get the best picture, but hopefully you're diamond painting along with me, or crafting. I don't limit anybody to a craft because there are just so stinking many beautiful crafts to do, you guys, in so little time. But yes, it's my mission in life to get everybody on this storage system. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I know that, you know, many people are excited about those Harbor Freight ones. And I have them. I actually bought a few for a giveaway I had done. And then I bought two for my, oh, that's not a good drill. I bought two for myself for a completely different purpose, which I will eventually share. But it's not diamond painting related, and or cross stitch related. And I have to tell you, when I was putting the items in them, that in the like individual cases, they're a great case. They really are. And it's probably a great maybe long-term storage solution. um, if you're going to keep your drills. But there were a couple of things that I did not love about them. And one was that I felt that the little individual cases were very, very flimsy. So you get 24 little cases, little storage cases inside a big storage case. So you can only get 24 colors in one case. Well, most diamond paintings that I have are more than 24 colors. And I like, I'm not gonna lie, I like my storage cases for the fact that there are 30 bottles or 60 bottles. And sometimes the 60 is too much. And I can get two diamond painting storages, kitting ups in 160 case, again, depending on how many drills are in each. This one has 45 colors, so there are 15 bottles that are naked. They have nothing in them. And so, you know, yeah, but I like that I only have to take one case with me if I'm traveling around my house, or if I go, somewhere that I can diamond paint and it's easy to pick up and I don't have to worry about which case I'm bringing. And then for also the simple fact, I made this easy on myself. I color coordinated my cases because, again, I'm a psycho. And so I know that the green case being the zipper. So they're all black cases, but each zipper has a color. And so my green zippered case, I know is for my collab piece. I know that my yellow zippered or orange zippered case is for uh two Diamond Art Club pieces that I did. One is that I'm doing a whips and sips on, is my white roses and butterflies, and then the other one is Wolf Dreamcatcher by Suniva Meister. I've kitted those two up in the orange one. My blue one is going to be my Dreamcatcher Wolf one. And so I know that when I glance at it, that's what's in there. I also could put a little tag on the handle to remind me, because, sometimes I get a little forgetful. And yeah, but I know kind of at a glance, well, if I've got, 7 of those Harbor Freight kits, unless I have put a sticky or something on them, I would have to look at each one and go, oh, I have to take these 2 for this diamond painting. And, this one is for this diamond painting. And I guess it's not as different, a whole big difference than the way that I do it, but there's no color coordination, there's no anything. And typically, like if I had the Harbor Freight ones and I have 45 colors, I would need 2 of the Harbor Freight cases, and I would constantly be opening each one trying to figure out which one had my drills. This way, all my colors are right here in one case, and I can see at a glance, and can pick out the color that is needed for the symbol. Anyways, and then Ally Express came out with 84 bottles in a case. So I was like, whoo, 84, yes, please. Okay, big disappointment. I mean, it's super cute. It is a super cute case. I've also done a video on that, and I will link that one as well. But it is a very cute case. It is not very practical. I mean, I'm actually going to make it work in the way that if I have a kit that has, a number of drills to it, diamonds to it, you know, more than 60, clearly, I will use that one, and I will make that for a big project. And what I will do is, you know, when I'm diamond painting, I will just lift out my trays and place them on the table so that I have all of the bottles in their little foam home. On the table, so that I'm not like picking out the foam each time I need to find a bottle underneath. So what they did was the case, it's really cute. If you'll see it in the video if you choose to go see it. But it has 3 tiers. So the first tier, and thank you Pippa for pointing out that it should not have been in the lid. But the first tier has 28 small bottles. So half the size of these guys here. It's about half the size, maybe a little less than, a little more than half. Math, it's a strong suit. So there's littler bottles, and then there's this size bottle. So there's 2 rows of 28 big bottles and 1 row of 28 small bottles. What symbol was I doing? There we go. And there's nothing on this. Did I drop it? I might have dropped it. And so it was a great concept until I went to go and take it out and realized that every time you pick the foam out of the case, I think that eventually wear and tear, especially in the corners, because the corners are so much thinner, of foam in order to get it in the case and have it nestle in the round part of the case, the corners. I just don't know how sturdy it will be with normal usage. And so to eliminate that, I will just use it for, you know, my bigger canvases that have more than 60 colors. And then when I'm working on them, I will just take out each tray and put it on the table. And then when I'm finished, put them back in. The other thing I thought was maybe I would use it as storage, and it would be something that I would store my extra drills in. And maybe more so the squares. I don't know. You guys know that I don't save my diamonds. After I'm done a painting, I don't save the diamonds. And until I got to Diamond Art Club, and the diamonds were so pretty, and also because I had a AliExpress kit that they must have had a moment, and they did not include enough of, I think it's 38.65. I could be wrong. 38.56. I don't know. Something like that. Anyways, they did not include enough. And almost, I would say almost half of my canvas, I couldn't do because it needed that color and they didn't have it. And it had been too long since I had ordered the kit to open a dispute. And so I didn't. And then I was going to order the diamonds from an Etsy seller, and I didn't. And because I'm lazy, I had them in my cart, and I just never bought them. And so when Diamond Art Club, when I opened up my first kit and I had a couple of, you know, drills in each color left, I was like, oh, but they're so pretty. And maybe I would keep these ones. And you know, guys, I gotta tell you, I hate kitting down after a project. Who's with me? I actually like kitting up because I like seeing the colors, and the organization is beautiful to me. I love having all of my little containers lined up, and you know, with their pretty little numbers on the tops, and ready to put the pretty colors in. I just love that part. I actually enjoy kitting up. I hate kitting down. I hate it because now I've got to go and find my plastic baggies with the number and then look at the color index to see, you know, what number that actual color or symbol went to, and find the bag to put the stuff in. And so, you know what? Honestly, I think I'm talking myself out of keeping the diamonds. I really am. I hate kidding down. I would rather, I'm not joking, I would rather just open up all of the cases and dump them and start again. Like, to me, the kidding down process, even if it's a 10-minute process, that's too long. That's time I'm taking away from my next diamond painting kit. I think I've just convinced myself, you guys, to not keep. I know. You know, comment below. How do you feel about that? I just don't know that I wanna keep them, you guys. Yeah, that sounds crazy. I know. And then somebody, I'm sure, will say, well, what happens if, you know, you have a drill that comes off? Okay, well, that is true. And I am also notorious about not framing my pieces right after, because I have commitment issues. I have commitment issues, you guys. Commitment issues as in, ooh, I saw that really pretty frame, and I think that my canvas will look beautiful in that frame. But, ooh, wait, there could be a different one, and it could look better. Or, wait, there could be a sale in 2 days, and so, you know, I can't commit, you guys. And so, you know, Magical Mama that I told you I was going to frame and put in my granddaughter's room, how long ago did I finish that and do a post review? It's been a while. It's still sitting on my dresser. Yes, it is. So I can see somebody saying to me, well, Lisa, what happens if, you know, from the time that you have finished it to the time that you actually get it framed, that a drill comes off or whatever? Well, valid point. Valid point. Valid point. I will have to think about that. I don't know. Either Lisa needs to commit and just get over herself, or come on, little pretty drill. Okay, there we go. Or then, yes, okay, that was that ugly drill again. Why am I keeping it? And I think I just dumped it on my canvas somewhere. I don't see it. Probably went back in here. I don't see it. Yeah. Okay. So valid point. I hear you all in my head. So I will maybe rethink. I mean, I do have diamonds already that I have saved, but I will say I really do dislike the kitting down process. Maybe it's because it's finished. Nope. I actually enjoy going on to a new project. So it's not a case of, oh, I'm sad this is done. It's more of a, holy, Lise, you actually finished something. Congratulations moment. So it's not a sad moment for me that it's done, because frankly, I have so many to go to next that that's not a problem. It's not a problem. Goodness sakes. Okay, so enough about that. So what else can we talk about? Ooh, okay. How about we talk about allergies? How many of you have allergies? So I have allergies to nuts. And but here's the weird thing. So I'm not allergic to peanuts, peanut butter, but I am allergic to peanut oil. Okay, and I know that that sounds weird because in peanut butter there is peanut oil, I think. But if you cook in peanut oil, so and it's not really an allergy at that point. It's more like I just break out. I get super blotchy, or I might break out in hives and start itching. But it's not like life threatening, as the other nuts are. But yeah, so that part is really weird. So people get really confused when I say that I have a nut allergy, and then they see me eating a peanut butter sandwich. And they're like, or peanut butter cookies. And I've actually had my boyfriend slap it out of my hand because he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was eating that. And he's like, it has nuts in it. And I'm like, yes, but that's the okay nut. And so, yeah, I know it sounds really crazy, but yeah. So, but all of the other nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios, you name it, cashews, cashews are, pistachios and cashews by far are the worst. But, yeah. So, and I have a very high tolerance. I have a very high tolerance to, um, pain and being sick. Like I'm that type of girl who can give plenty of warning before I get sick. Like when I was pregnant, I was sick all the time. Oh my God, sick all the time. And my pregnancies were not happy pregnancies. And but I could tell my ex-husband, okay, I'm going to be sick. You need to, drive, stop, pull over. And I could hold it long enough to be able to do that. Like I just have this inner, whatever, inner strength, I don't know what it is, but I can typically, give lots of warning, before it's going to happen. And it's the same with my nut allergy. I know as soon as it has touched my lip that we're going to have a problem. So, couple funny stories. They're not funny. Like they're actually not funny. I freaked the poor people out very badly who did not know. But I've known since elementary school that I have had an issue. And I used to hide it because, do you remember? I don't know if people still do this, but at Christmas time, there would always be like the hazelnuts and the walnuts all in shells, and you would get the nutcracker, and it was like this whole thing to do the nutcracker and open up your nut. And it was only at Christmas time this ever happened. Maybe that was just at my house, but it was like this special thing, right? I loved doing the nutcracker. Like that was the best thing ever. And I never understood when I was younger why I would get sick after touching them. Like I would crack them for my parents, but I never really liked the smell of nuts, so I didn't really eat them. And maybe it was because my body said, danger, danger, Will Robinson, don't eat those, innately. I don't know. But I just never ate them, but I used to crack them. My dad thought it was really funny to have his 6-year-old try and crack these damn nuts that, the shells are hard, people. And the nutcracker, they were those stainless steel ones, that we had some decorative ones too, but those things are hard. It's like a lobster, the lobster claw things that you break your lobsters apart with, the crackers. Yeah, the lobster crackers. Is that what they're called? No, that's not right. I don't know. But yeah, they're like that. And if you're not used to using them on a fairly regular basis, it takes a little while to get used to them. So anyway, so yeah, I just never ate them, but I did touch them and my hands would itch all the time. Like I never could figure out what, but yeah, because I was 6 and clearly not smart. And my parents never clued in either, because I guess we just didn't eat things and me notice, having something. Well, then somebody once offered, those turtles. Oh my God, I love turtles because they had chocolate and caramel, but then they had nuts in them. And we didn't know back in the day. Well, I ate one and I didn't even eat it. I knew that there was something wrong. We were at a party and was that one there or did that one fall on there? Just hang on here, guys. Oh yeah, no, that was on. We were at a party, and you know, they were out, and us kids were all running around, and one of the adults was like, "Here, you guys, come and have a turtle," you know. And so we all picked our turtle, and me savoring it because of chocolate and everything. Well, as soon as it hit my lip, there I knew that there was a problem. And but I was little and I didn't know. So I went to the bathroom and I got sick. And I just like I then went and sat with the adults and stopped playing with all of the kids. And my mom and I was hot and I was flush, and like I still remember this to this day. And my mom kept looking at me going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just don't feel good." And of course I never finished that turtle. Well, then, you know, fast forward, I don't know, a while. And then I was at school, and somebody had some little treat and had offered it. And unbeknownst to me, it had pistachios in it. And I immediately swelled up, my face swelled up, and my lips got really big and red, and they're already big. So that's really saying something. And so I went and I laid down on the bathroom floor because it was cool, and which is disgusting, you guys. At elementary school and public bathroom, you know, the school bathroom. Ugh. Gross, but wasn't thinking of that back then because all I wanted was to feel better. And so then I you know, I got sick and I was sent home, and it just was not, it took days. It took days, and I was not feeling good. But I just have this, I don't know what it is, inner something. I don't know what it is. So then, you know, adult, you know, I just, I don't, I don't know. Then another time, I, when we bought our house, when my first three, so my daughter was 2, I think, when we bought the house. And I became really good friends with the neighbor. And the neighbor and I had kids that were about the same age, and we both were interested sort of in the same things, and you know, we were pretty good neighbors. And so, and both of us were home all day long, and so, and both of us belonged to the same gym. And they had babysitting or daycare at the gym. And so Nikki and I would go, and we would put the kids in the daycare, and we would go and exercise. Well, she was really into health foods and protein bars and all kinds of stuff. So she gave me this protein bar, and I mean, I read the description. Well, I read the flavor, and it was like chocolate. I don't even remember. But I did not read the ingredients. And throughout my life, I have been very, very careful because I realize that these things don't make me feel good. Some nuts will actually make my tongue swell up, my throat swell up. That is an emergency situation. Get your butt to the hospital. I've never gotten an EpiPen, and my mother was always so freaked out. Like, why won't you go and get an EpiPen? And I'm like, because for me, again, it's that whole stubborn nature thing that I have going on. You know, the EpiPen will only give you so much time before, you know, you can, get help. And me being the strong-willed, independent girl that I am, I'm like, I can drive myself to the hospital if that's the problem, you know, or, yeah. And that an EpiPen is only going to give me an extra 5 minutes or whatever. So, you know, like I'm such a stubborn girl, you guys. And so, yep, I never got an EpiPen. And I just was a lot more cautious. Like, if I didn't know the food, I would typically read the the ingredients, or as Teresa likes to call it, ingredients. Yeah, that cracked me up. That's a total side note, but sorry guys. The Real Housewives, oh my god, when Teresa called it ingredients. I was like, she said what now? And now I use it because I think it's funny. Okay, so anyway, I keep putting these in upside down, you guys, again, because I can't see. So where was I? Yeah, so I read the ingredients on most things that I don't know, you know, and or have never had before. But it was a protein bar. I never thought it never occurred to me what the protein part of the bar would actually be. And I was hungry and she was eating them and it was a power bar. Like I truly remember this power bar and it was like gold wrappered, yellow gold wrappered. Yeah. Uh-huh. And okay, sip. Mm-hmm. It is morning. Everybody have their coffee. Oh, yeah. Coffee is life, people. Coffee is life. So anyway, she gave this to me. I took a bite and I started chewing it. And I realized my tongue started tingling and started swelling. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, we are now in the change room, right? We're naked. We're in the shower. And I go flush red and I run to the bathroom and I spit this thing out and I immediately start throwing up. And Nikki then follows me to the bathroom and here I am, I'm hunched over the porcelain toilet and she's behind me and we're both naked. Like, I mean, if you guys could see the picture, and I still remember, it's like 30, no, it's not 30 years ago. It's like 25 years ago. I still remember this to this day. That, you know, here she is, she's behind me and she's like, are you okay? And she's stroking my back and she's trying to get my hair, right? And we just come out of the shower. So sopping wet, we're both naked. It is great. And she's like, she's behind me and she's like super concerned, right? And I'm like, Nikki, go get the kids, go get the kids, go get the van. We need to go now. And she's like, are you going to be okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. And my tongue is like swelling up and my throat is like, you know, starting to close. And I'm like, and I'm like, okay, I cannot tell her. Between the two of us, we had 5 kids, right? And so I'm like, I'm not going to tell her we need to go to the ER. I'll go home, you know, like I knew, I've experienced this enough that I know kind of what to do. And again, I'm stubborn and strong-willed and I am not dying that day. It is not going to happen. And believe me, I'm not making a joke about this because allergies are no joke and people do have issues. But for some reason, I managed to get myself always out of them. And I've only had to go to ER once, no, twice, for this as an issue. But you know, for other people, life-threatening, it is not a joke. But at the time, this is now a little funny because clearly I'm still here. But yeah, so she's like, okay, well, what can I do? And I'm like, okay, go to my locker, here's my number, get my clothes out, you know. And I'm trying to like throw everything up out of my system, right? And nothing's now staying down. Like I couldn't even take a drink of water. Like it was like your mouth is frozen from the dentist and it's like dribbling out the side. Yeah, that's what I had going on. It was a lot of fun. So, you know, she's now panicking. And this is back in the day before cell phones, right? So she's up at the front desk and she's calling her husband, my husband, and oh yeah, it was good times. So she drives us home, which is probably 20 some odd minutes from our house, maybe even a little longer. And ironically, by 2 hospitals. And she keeps saying to me, do you need me to take you to the ER? Do you need me to take you to the ER? And I'm like, I'm leaning up against the window because it's nice and cool, right, on my face. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And the kids are in the back and they're like, what's wrong with Lisa? And Mom. And so yeah, okay, all ends well. I got home and I laid down to rest and she took the kids and Pat, my ex-husband, came home. And but by this time, I think that I had flushed almost anything out of my system that was in there. And because I had not actually swallowed the item and or the food, and I had not you know, I just knew as soon as it had touched me that there was a problem. So here she is. Here was the other funny thing. I'm like, what was in that power bar? As I'm like leaning over the toilet, right? And she's got it in her hand and she's leaning up against the door and she's like reading the thing and she's like, oh, it's got walnut butter and no, almond butter and walnuts in it. And I'm like, oh my God. And yeah, seriously, good times. I think it's only happened to me a handful of times that I have eaten things unknowingly because I hadn't expected it. Because nowhere on the front, like you would think that it would say chocolate walnut, you know, something bar or whatever, but there was no mention of it in the title and there was nothing in the picture. And so for people who have allergies, that's a little dangerous, you guys. So then another time we were out and we were at a restaurant and I love me some desserts. And I ordered this streusel, something, something, something. Nowhere in the description, nowhere on the menu in the description of the item did it say that the streusel had nuts in it. And so it came. And I knew looking at it that it had almonds in it. And so I very politely said to the waiter, because every other item on their menu said, you know, the chicken had cashews with it or whatever. Like every other item that had nuts was described in the menu, but the dessert did not. And I even remember specifically asking the guy if it had nuts, and he was like, oh, I don't think so. So I was like, okay. Well, it had nuts. Very politely said to him, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to change, you know, this. It has nuts in it. And he is like, oh, well, is that a problem? And I said, yeah, highly allergic. And he's like, well, you're going to still have to pay for this one and we'll get you another one. And my girlfriend, who had just experienced, you know, like a couple of months before, the issue in the bathroom, she was like, excuse me. She's like, this is life-threatening. And her husband was a lawyer. And she's like, this is life-threatening. And, you know, you did not put it in. Oh, there was that bad drill. You didn't put it in your description, and you know, you need to make this right, basically. And he hemmed and hawed. They were not going to do it, you guys. It was really funny. And I'm like, at the very least, I mean, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. We're not sue happy people in Canada. This happened in Canada. But I said, wow, you know, like people can die from this. And at the very least, you know, you guys should be aware when you're serving the items, what they have in them, or have it in the description of the menu. So anyway, and then, you know, my kids all know, mom has severe allergies. I have actually freaked 2 of my children out. My little guy, at one time, Turtles actually came out just with chocolate and caramel, like it was nut free. I don't know if they do that anymore, but this was like 10, maybe even 11 years ago, that they had done that. And, ooh, itchy nose. And so I had bought in a box, but there's still cross-contamination. And there was one in there that either had like small pieces of the pecans and cashews and whatever else nuts they use, hazelnuts, whatever else they use in the turtles. And so I ironically got that piece. And we were driving to Target, and it was just my little guy and me. And I knew immediately that there was a problem. The poor kid, he watched his mother blow up like a balloon and start hacking and wheezing. Well, by this time, cell phones had been invented and affordable almost for everybody. And so I was able to call my ex-husband to come and save us, because there was no way that, you know, I was going to be able to drive home. And and my little guy was watching his mother do some really awesome things with her upper body. And yeah. And then, so like, seriously, I am very, very careful. I am very careful. If I don't know, if I've not had the food before, I don't know. And even with some foods that I do know, I still will look, because, you know, things change. And so I will still look, just a quick little glance. And so that's what actually leads me up to, this is weird, but even products like makeup products, hair products, they will put like almond oil or walnut shells for scrubs in their products, and it's hidden in the ingredients. Like, it's, I mean, you have to read all of the ingredients to see, you know, what that is. And so I think I was having a facial done, and I was getting some exfoliant that was on my face, and all of a sudden my face started getting super, super hot and itchy. And so I was like, oh, okay, we need to, whatever this is, we need to take it off. But you know, do you happen to know what's in it? Well, it ended up having almond shells, no, walnut shells, crushed walnut shells in it to be part of the exfoliant. So, you know, people who have allergies, check your makeup. Like, one day my scalp was just itching so bad, and I could not, like, I could have rubbed it raw, you guys, like scratched it off. Well, I went home and I checked my shampoo. It had almond oil in it. It didn't say that on the front. It didn't, like, and it was a different brand than I normally had used, and but I just never thought about it. Like, who thinks that that's in their shampoo, you know? And but in order for it to shine and be smooth, I guess they put almond oil in it. Well, even though it's you're not eating it, it's still transference into your system. And so while it might be a small amount, for people who have allergies, yeah, you are going to get some kind of reaction. And yeah, so but the other day, my daughter had brought home these breakfast bars, and I'm going to insert a picture of it here. Okay, so nowhere on there do you guys see a picture of a nut. Those are actual raisins. They are granola, the oats, the cinnamon stick, and raisins. And the breakfast bar is by Quaker, and it says breakfast flats, crispy snack bars, golden raisin cinnamon with other natural flavors. Nowhere on here does it say that it contains nuts. And so I took it, you know, on my way to work, and I was going to eat it, you know, as something to get in my stomach before I got to work. And something told me to look at the ingredients. And because it's also a new food to me, I hadn't had this before, and like I said, I am much more careful. And so I got to a stoplight, and I started reading, and it has, you had to flip up the seam in order to get to the ingredients, because the nutrition facts are on the outside, you know, and then you've got to flip the little seam, and then it's got the ingredients, and it says contains almonds, pecans, soy, and wheat ingredients. Almonds and pecans. And I'm like, huh, nowhere in that picture, nowhere does it have a picture of an almond or a pecan. Honestly, those are raisins. They are golden raisins. And so I'm like, and not in the description either, you know? And so I'm like, so good thing I had not eaten that, or it was going to be a really fun day for my coworkers. But yes, I have an EpiPen. My daughter works in medical, and she has experienced her mother laying on the bathroom floor, barely breathing, both eyes swelled shut, face all puffy from eating a teeny tiny bit of a pastry that was assured to be nut-free that she bought for my birthday. And the poor thing, no, for her birthday, sorry. And she felt horrible because she had specifically asked, and the lady gave her the wrong one. And and it had pistachios in it. And the crust was made with crushed pistachios. And so the poor thing was horrified. And again, because she works in medical, she kept insisting that we go to ER. And I was like, no, I just need to rest, some Benadryl, I'll be fine. And she's like, I can't have you dying because you're PP's guardian and you can't go. And I was like, yeah. So anyways, she has since forced EpiPens on me. And so I now have EpiPens. And not that I have ever used one in my life. And like I said, I've been really, really, really fortunate because I just know as soon as something touches that there's an issue. Or with, beauty products. Unfortunately, I had washed my hair like a couple of times before. I mean, I had itched before, but I was like, oh, new product, tightening scalp, whatever. And so it was a couple of times before I got to the point that, like, seriously, I could have, like, scalped myself in order to stop the itching. But yeah, so those are my wonderful allergy stories. I'm pretty food adventurous. I like trying different foods and different cultures, and I really enjoy Indian food, but a lot of their food has nuts in it. I like Thai food. Again, they use a lot of nuts. And so I just have to be really careful on what I eat, and make it quite known, I realize that there's always going to be cross-contamination, especially in places that do use nuts. But yeah, there's foods I don't like bananas and liver. Ugh, gross, and gross. And so, I don't enjoy eating those. Okay, I don't eat them at all anymore now that I'm an adult and I get to choose what I eat. But yeah, allergies. Super fun. Disliked foods. How about you? Do you guys have any allergies? Have you had any like close calls? What do you do to safeguard yourself from that? Because even though, a lot of people have nut allergies and people make a really big deal about, nut-free zones when you go to school or camp, it still sneaks in places that you would never expect. So I would love to hear if you guys have had that as an issue, or what your allergy is and what you've had to do. But yeah, so I think I'm going to end there. I'm almost done with this color in this section, and I am not as far as Cherri is. Cherri did hers on her vacation, and she sent me a picture, and I was like, girl, come on now, I'm nowhere as near. So she is much further than I am, and we're going to try and finish this, I think, in 2 videos and do our post review, 2 more videos. So I am going to make this piece my priority. And then I have a challenge piece, and then I got caught up yesterday in this new Drills and Chills, hashtag Drills and Chills, challenge, or yeah, maybe I don't know if it's called really a challenge, but it's a Halloween collaboration, I guess, with anybody who would like to join with the Drills and Chills hashtag. I will link that information below and talk about that in my next video, because I just came across it the other day. Thank you, Diamond Painting Queen, and for enabling me, naughty girl. And so I will have to link that below, because I cannot remember who has started it. They're two lovely ladies, and I am again horrible with names. I apologize, but I will link that below as well. So this went a little longer than I thought, sorry, and I hope you enjoyed, but I'm gonna end now. So I hope to see you in my next video. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.